Meantime, let's check in with forecaster Seth Sanders. Seth, the wind was the big problem driving these flames. The firefighters couldn't do much about it.
Yes, when the fire actually started, we had wind gusts of 31 miles an hour, humidity at 6%, which is extremely dry, and we're only at about a tenth of the precipitation that we get this time of year. So the vegetation is just, it's dry.
This was a perfect storm of events for this to happen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Temperatures in the mid-90s, just bad combination all around.
Oh boy.
And we do have wildfires as well in southern Utah, northern Arizona, just the whole region looking at fires. And we have smoke all the way up in Flaming Gorge.
Wow.
This is smoke from a fire in northern Arizona making its way all the way across eastern Utah and into the northeast corner of the state. You can see that here. We look at our current smoke. We have the Monroe fire, which just broke 10,000 acres. And then we have the Dragon Bravo fire on the north ridge of the Grand Canyon, and that's flirting with 30 acres. We have a southerly wind that's pushing it across the eastern portion of the state. What you see in the light gray, that's just like a hazier smoke. You can see that outside here along the Wasatch Front now, but the thicker plumes of smoke are what you see there in the darker gray. Very poor air quality in those areas. Our future smoke model is going to walk us through the next day or so. Going to notice that southerly wind continues to push the smoke up through eastern Utah. Very, very thick plumes of smoke from Castle Country, Price, all the way down into I-70, Richfield, the Capitol Reef region, all looking at very thick plumes of smoke as we get into the evening. And then it's going to continue lifting north until eventually it reaches the Wasatch Front, Cache Valley, and the Wasatch Mountains by tomorrow morning. Now, the good news is the winds do start to shift more southwesterly, so it's going to blow that smoke away from I-15. So the big cities are going to remain clear as we get into Saturday evening, but eastern Utah, that smoke stays locked in. And unfortunately, there is not much relief from this dry weather. This is our dew point. What you see in the red indicates that drier air all the way through the weekend, only starting to clear out by the middle of next week. Now, you notice that green down there towards southern Arizona. We have a little bit of moisture that could open up the door for a monsoon flow. We're going to keep our eye on that. But for now, we got to talk about the fires. We do have a red flag warning in effect for a large chunk of the state, all of southern Utah, a big portion of the West Desert, and a vast majority of eastern Utah. That's going to be in effect on Saturday, and there is a decent chance that it gets extended into Sunday. Gusts up to 35 miles an hour, and humidity falling well into the single digits. Take a look at this time lapse from our Black Desert Resort down in Ivins. You're going to notice an increase in moisture as we get throughout the day. There's that cloud coverage, but don't get your hopes up. There's not a lot of precipitation on the way. So we take a look at the satellite radar. You can actually see that cloud coverage starting to move up through Vegas and up into the southwest corner of the state. But like mentioned, there isn't really any precipitation involved with this little push of moisture. Temperatures right now are in the 90s across the state. We have a couple of 80s as well. 80s in southwest Wyoming and eastern Nevada. 94 degrees here in Salt Lake. That's just 2 degrees below seasonal norms. 95 in St. George. Their average high is 102, so about 7 degrees cooler than they usually are. And those temperatures are going to continue to fall after sunset. 90s turn to 80s, and then 80s turn into 70s as we get a little bit closer to midnight. Let's take a look at this upper level futurecast. This is going to walk us through the big picture here. As this low pressure system to the west and the high pressure to the east squeeze together, it makes a tighter pressure gradient, which amplifies that southerly wind, bringing the breezy conditions and elevating that fire risk all the way through the weekend. And then the winds finally start to die down by the time we get into Monday, Tuesday. And then we do have that chance for monsoon moisture. We're going to keep our eye on that, but the models are still crossing the T's and dotting the I's, just trying to figure out where exactly that wants to go. As for tomorrow, temperatures are going to be similar to where they are today, just a couple degrees below seasonal norms, 99 degrees in St. George, but the triple digits do return, 104 degrees to kick off the work week, 104 sticks around into Tuesday, and then we do have a slight chance Wednesday through Friday. Thursday is going to be our most likely chance for that monsoon push, and then up here in the Wasatch Front, we don't have too much variation in our temperatures, just a 4-degree change. 94 tomorrow, 98 on your Monday and Tuesday, and a chance that monsoon moisture gets up here by the end of the work week.
Wow. Okay.